Two people are injured and police have two suspects to track down following a shooting on Sunday morning, rather. And two key leaders in the Middle East will be in Washington today to start discussions on how to resolve their differences. But will the State Department be able to make a difference?
From KSN News, this is Kansas Today with Mark Davidson and meteorologist Leon Smitherman.
It is 29 minutes until 7 o'clock, kind of an overcast Monday morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome into Kansas Today. Mark and Leon with you this morning. So since you're just back to town, I want to show you what you missed out on.
Oh, yeah. Let me see what I missed.
Pretty heavy rain, Smitherman, as you probably heard, indeed. Rolled through south central Kansas. Flooding rain in some places. And from what you say, could be another round of it today.
Oh, absolutely. We're already setting up for some more showers. A few thunderstorms out there. The potential today, as far as the severe weather risk, would be localized heavy rain. Obviously, you've seen the video. You've seen the flooding problems. We can't absorb a lot more rain initially through central parts of the states, and even when it comes down that hard, even if it's been dry wherever you're living, when it comes down that hard and fast, it's going to run off like concrete. So do expect some more localized flooding in some of those favored spots where the water tends to pool up. Our radar this morning showing the development of more showers, and occasionally we get a little thunderstorm out of this. There's nothing severe in the form of the traditional severe, but well, we're starting to see a little development here in south central Kansas. It's quiet for the most part this morning. There's not a lot of action around Wichita. North central parts of the state, from Junction City back towards Abilene, Council Grove, you're getting a little shower. Around Cottonwood Falls, same story, and off to the east of Russell. And along the I-70 corridor, on again, off again, heavier rain. We're seeing some better rain in southwestern Kansas as well. Of course, it's spotty in nature. It's not going to get everybody today. And then north central Kansas, take a look at that. We're seeing the rain starting to head back towards Rush Center, and it looks like you're going to get some good rainfall as well. So, on again, off again, showers, thunderstorms, spotty in nature. Some heavy rain possible. 78 for the high. 78. Awesome.
78
degrees.
Spectacular degrees.
It's going to be fantastic.
And really, the week ahead looks pretty nice, too. We'll talk about that coming up. Okay?
Sure.
Thanks, Leon. Officials are investigating what caused a plane to crash in Russell County yesterday. The single-engine plane went down near Lake Wilson. The Russell County Sheriff's Office getting that call just after noon. The pilot of the plane was killed in the crash and has been identified as 66-year-old Rufus Woods III from Cimarron, Kansas. The Kansas Highway Patrol and the FAA will both be investigating the crash to try and find out what happened. Police are looking for a pair of suspects who they say shot two men after a brief argument early yesterday morning. It all happened near the intersection of 20th and Park Place about 3:30 a.m. Police say both men were getting into their car when shots were fired. The victims drove themselves to St. Francis Hospital before police arrived at the scene. One victim was shot in the stomach. The other was shot in the hand. Police interviewed several witnesses that live in that area.
After researching and talking to the neighborhood and the witnesses, we established that we had a disturbance that happened over freak circumstances.
Police are looking for two suspects in connection with the shooting. They say both victims are expected to survive. Thomas Etheridge, the founder of Wild West World, who was sent to prison for defrauding investors, will be set free today. Etheridge was convicted for bilking investors out of tens of thousands of dollars to build his Park City theme park. He'll be released after serving just more than 3 years of a 5-year sentence. Wild West World closed in 2007 after opening for just 2 months. He was convicted of fraud in 2010. Former Penn State President Graham Spanier, one-time athletic director Tim Curley, and retired Vice President Gary Schultz will attend a preliminary hearing today, which will determine if they must face a trial on charges they covered up an allegation that former assistant football coach Jerry Sandusky was sexually abusing boys. All three men say they never knew the allegation was of a sexual nature. The hearing is expected to last 2 days. Jerry Sandusky was convicted last year of sexually abusing 10 boys. He is currently serving a 30 to 60-year prison sentence. A pregnant woman is among 3 people killed when a church bus overturns in Indianapolis. The church's youth pastor and his wife, who was 8 months pregnant, died in Saturday's accident along with a chaperone. The couple's 2-year-old son survived that crash. The bus was just a mile from its destination when the driver says the brakes failed. He then hit a raised concrete median and the bus flipped on its side. Dozens of people were also injured in that crash. 6 teens remain hospitalized. Officials are going over the highway and the bus to determine what exactly caused that crash. Mideast peace talks will resume today in Washington. This is a big deal since Israel and Palestine haven't sat down together since 2010 when the U.S. tried to broker peace talks, but they fell apart over Israeli settlements. Hopefully today will be different. NBC's Tracy Potts is following developments and has the very latest from Washington.
What happens tonight at the State Department is just a start, and we may not hear a lot about what's going on inside.
The best way to give these negotiations a chance is to keep them private.
Today, 4 people, including Israel's justice minister and the Palestinians' chief negotiator, begin laying out a plan for how they'll negotiate.
Both sides will have to make a significant concession.
Israel already did, agreeing to gradually release 104 Palestinian prisoners after talks begin. That sparked protests from Israelis and this demonstration in Gaza from Palestinians who don't want to see the peace talks move forward.
Israel is going to continue to build settlements while negotiations take place. This would undermine completely any potential for the success of such negotiations.
Others are optimistic.
I think it's about time. Should have happened a long time ago.
Soon to jump into the middle of all this, our former ambassador to Israel, Martin Indyk. He's expected to be named the administration's new Middle East envoy, possibly as early as today. Now, he would take over travel to the Mideast for Secretary of State Kerry, who's made 6 trips there since January. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Washington.
Another obstacle for New York City mayoral candidate Anthony Weiner after his campaign manager walks out. Danny Kadem resigned after Weiner admitted to more raunchy online interactions with women. Last week, Weiner was forced to admit to sending lewd photos to women after resigning from Congress in 2011. Christine Quinn, who's running against Weiner, said he's become a distraction.
Former Congressmember Weiner has a pattern of reckless behavior, an inability to tell the truth, and a real lack of maturity or responsibility. I don't think he should be mayor, and I think the voters, if he stays in the race, will make that very clear.
Other political strategists say there's now no way Weiner can become mayor of New York City. Syndicated radio and television personality David "Kid" Craddock passed away on Saturday. Craddock was in New Orleans for a kids charity golf event when he died. No cause of death has been given. His syndicated radio show has been heard in more than 75 cities, including here locally on 105.3 The Buzz. Craddock was 53 years old. Well, which 5 cars are the worst sellers ever? And what would make an athlete walk away from a tournament when he's on the cusp of victory? The answer is coming up in today's Morning Media.
There's some more rain heading our direction. We'll talk about that and cooler temperatures ahead. Stick around. Back after this.
You're watching Kansas Today on KSN. Online at ksn.com.